Welcome back to the Urban Suburban Garden. In today's episode, we got a harvest. All the corn is coming down today. But before we take the corn down, I'm gonna let you get a quick look at the up top garden, garden number 2. And I'll talk to you a bit more about this shade cloth that's up here. All right, here with the shade cloths, I have 2 of them up here. This one and that one over there. This is partially covering this garden here. Over here on the left side here where the corn is, I didn't want to cover that, but the stuff over here on the right, just to give it a little bit more life, the tomato plants, the potato plants, and the squash down on the end, we're getting beat up by the light. We get so much light up in this area here. But once I put the shade cloth up, it perked them back up, and they're doing a lot better. Now back there in the back where the watermelons are back there, the vines are the same thing was happening with them. They're getting so much sunlight from this area that they're starting to, the leaves are folding over on each other. So now with the shade cloth up and me watering them every morning, they're nice and perky. So that's what that is up. That's why this looks the way it does. But we're up here for the corn today, so let's start taking some corn down. All right, over here where the corn is, like I said, it's harvest day. Here's a nice ear that we're gonna open up and take a look at it. But the reason why I'm taking them down today is yesterday I came up, my mother-in-law was over, she saw it and she was like, can I get a couple of the ears of corn? I said, sure. So I gave her about 6 of them. And one of the smaller ones, I'm gonna pull a small one off here. I decided, to give her that one too. And I said, well, let's open it up to see if it was full of kernels. And we opened it up, and to my surprise, it was full of kernels. I thought just the big ones, the fully mature ones, would have, full of ears. The small ones like that, I thought they would just be missing some stuff. So as we open this one up, it looks like this is a pretty full ear. I don't see any missing spots yet. Yeah, nice size ear. It's a decent size kernel, and this is not one of the bigger ones. It's some bigger than this in here, but it's full. Let's try to get it all the way pulled back so you can see. But yeah, nice fat full ear all the way around. So yeah, if all of them come out like this, we're gonna have a nice harvest. So let's get to taking them all down. And when I grab a small one, I'll stop and let you look at one of those too to see how it turned out. Now, before we get started, come on in here. Just want to show something we just noticed when we came up here today. Ooh, there's bubbles in there. How I guess the ear was starting to develop here, also where the tassels are, and it developed some kernels. I've never seen that before. Thought that was kind of interesting. We found a couple spots like that. It's another one right there, just like that there. Thought that was kind of interesting. And another thing real quick, as we were talking about, and a couple of the commenters that mentioned the way I got the corn situated in here, not side by side, so they can get pollinated both directions, north, south. North, south, east, west. And I had them just this way here, and I told you I self-pollinated by just grabbing the tassels and coming down here and pollinating each one of the silks. So far, looks like that worked. So that's one of the things I'm gonna be checking for today too, as a harvest. Now I'm not gonna open up all these ears, because once you open it, take the skin off them or the coat off them, whatever this is called, you gotta cook them. And that's not what I wanna do. But I am gonna look at a couple of them just to make sure my technique actually worked. I learned it from a couple other growers that I watch. So it definitely works. So I don't have to change my configuration as long as I'm willing to come out here and pollinate each one of the silks. And in this case, I did it every day or every other day at least to make sure I got a solid harvest. So let's get started. I'm gonna take down, I'll go a smaller one here, and I know this, so I could just feel this one didn't accumulate to anything. I throw all my stuff over my fence here because that's what one of my compost piles are. But this is a little tiny one. Let's see what it did. And just like yesterday, something this small still turned into something. That's a whole, it's a tiny ear, but it's not missing any of the kernels, So yeah, That's kind of surprising. I wasn't expecting. I thought anything this small here didn't fully develop and wouldn't grow into anything. So that's a pleasant surprise. So let's start snatching. So like I said, I gave my mother-in-law 6 of them yesterday. There's 2 we took off so far. So I'm gonna start here and just work my way back and see how many we get. Look, here's one that's undeveloped. And it's kind of weird because it got quite a few kernels on this thing. But it didn't get that big. So it didn't fully develop into a full ear. But I guess you could still eat that. But yeah, I just saw that and I thought it was interesting. So let's get back to work. All right, this is the harvest. There's about 32, 33 of them down in here. Excuse me. How many did I say? 26?
26. Yeah.
It was 26 down here. And I gave 6 of them away to my mother-in-law yesterday. So off of this harvest of 15 plants, we got roughly 32, maybe 33 if you want to count that little tiny one. 33 ears of corn, which is fantastic. But yeah, that's what we got off of this harvest. We're gonna clean the area up. Now I'm gonna cut all these stalks down, the plants itself, and I'm gonna replant right back in the these same spots, my next round of corn. So that's what I'll be doing in my next video, but I'm not gonna do it on this video. Today was just harvest. The next one, I'll just be cutting down and replanting. But yeah, this is the harvest that we got. Definitely grateful for the harvest. And we definitely should be enjoying some good corn. And today is 4th of July, so I'm going to be cooking some of these today. So that's all I have for you in this episode. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, share, and subscribe. And until the next one, keep growing.